Hello, this is an educational vlog by Crystal Betita and Child and Adolescent Development. We'll hear stories from Shem, who is a father of Shasha, 11 months old, and is a medical technologies also hear from Malud Escalyar, who is a registered and a mother of two girls. We'll hear stories from both of their roles as a mother and a father. Shem, can you tell us your story on your paternal role to a child?
Because of the circumstances of my wife and I currently in, I take a more hands-on active approach, especially in taking care of the child. For starters, I am the one who is on deck during night times. While my wife takes rest, I take the role of waking up to tend up to the baby when she needs something, especially when she wants milk or to change her diapers.
Shem, how do you assist to your child's development?
Being on a hands-on active position allows me to be an active participant in the child's development. That being said, I facilitate learning by engaging the child in different activities, especially sometimes in the use of otherwise considered as non-toy items, which by the way is safe for child use. The broader the world they see in, the more they perceive, the faster they learn. And nothing else is much more important than the mental development. In fact, brain and mental development are the keys to unlock inner machinations of the mind, how you develop the values, how they learn philosophies, and everything necessary.
Shem, are there theories of child development to which you strongly believe?
Personally, there is no single developmental theory that I objectively believe or as better than the others. Well, regarding if it's fruits, gadgets, banduras, and the rest, since all of them are labeled as theories, it is unwise to choose only a single theory to apply. All development theories, in fact, have their own point, and it's pretty good. So you hardly have to consider them. Therefore, it is best to utilize and apply the concept best suited for the situation.
So, Shem, since one of the needs of infants is caring for her, how do you apply this, or how do you practice care for a child?
In a simple sense, well, I let the child form attachment, then subject them to social situations they have to interact with. At times, teach them directly, expose them to a variety of experiences, sights, sounds, and sensations. Basically, just apply the development theories as they're more like a habit, as if they're more like the habit than you're teaching them in a class.
What are the challenges of a child care provider?
The challenges of a child care provider. Let's say, you lose a lot of resting time. That's one. Sacrificing a lot while it is very necessary, when sometimes we consider it as an inconvenience. Your patients will be tested quite a lot since the child cannot verbalize like how adults do. Communication sometimes will be difficult since not all babies have the same difficulties, so you really have to take your time in observing the child as they grow and taking note of every single one.
Okay, babies learn language by hearing what you speak. So do you talk to Shasha even if she can't talk yet?
Yes, in fact, demonstration and active conversation teaches the child language. Also, that the parents out there don't talk to their children in gibberish. They talk to them like they're adults. They learn so much faster and improve their speaking skills. Don't baby them too much or give them a favor if you don't. So please.
Shem, how do you perform your role to play in the cognitive, social, and emotional development of a child?
I just apply all the development theories. I do personally believe that it's quite unfortunate if you act as if you don't know the theories and take no time applying them to the child. Personally, I'd really prefer if you make use of all possible avenues in developing your child. Well, again, it may take a lot of sacrifice, but nothing else is much more important than your child's future.
What is your message to young fathers out there who is watching this video?
To young fathers out there, the first thing you have to remember that your child, whatever you do, will affect your child. First, how treat your child like how you treat your family. If you treat your family well, you treat your child well. Also, you have to introspect. Remember to introspect into yourself that whatever you do, if your child in the presence of your child or not, will surely affect them in the future. So you have to be very sensitive, you have to be very cautious, especially if your child is a female. If you have a daughter, treat them like how you treat your mother. Like also like how you treat your wife. You do them a lot of favor if you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Crystal. Thank you so much for this special interview. I know you have tried to have a personal one-on-one interview with me, but time did not allow it due to the crisis we are facing right now on COVID-19. So we are asked to better stay home to be safe. And I'm sorry I don't have an internet connection right now, so I hope you don't mind if I will just read over your questions as well as my answers because I don't want to miss any line. I receive your questions and I find them truly interesting, and I hope I would be able to share my stories and insights that you would find meaningful and hopeful. So here's my story during the stage of prenatal care of my children. When I found out that when I was pregnant with my two children, I really felt so much blessed. For me, they are miracle babies. Before they came into my womb, I already surrendered them to God. I let Him rule over because I know I was polycystic then, which means I had this difficulty of getting pregnant. But I never lose hope then. I did everything to keep myself well, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and spiritually. My pregnancies are all gifts, a special grace, and a divine intervention. It took a leap of faith to experience such wonderful miracles, having Naomi and Marian into our lives. During my pregnancies, I kept my body healthy by eating the right kind of food, with a little exercise such as walking with my husband early in the morning or just walking alongside the beach. I also get plenty of rest, attending to regular checkups with my OB/GYN, and taking my vitamins daily. I also made sure that I drink milk every day to get the necessary nutrients needed for my growing bundle of joy. I also watch a good and funny movie, read good books, self-help and pregnancy books, and listen to classical music. How do I manage working while I'm pregnant? Well, I took my work lightly, positively, and passionately. I see my work as a gift and a ministry, and had been a normal way of life for me. Of course, being conscious of the physical discomforts brought by my pregnancy, I had to take breaks in between. I was also blessed and surrounded by loving and supportive people, especially my husband and my mother. If there were problems at work, I just have to allow myself for timeouts and allow myself to express my feelings by allowing my non-dominant hand to draw, paint, or write a journal when I'm stressed out. I also commune with God. Overall, it was really my passion, excitement, and love of work that moved me every single day during my pregnancy period. How was I able to perform my role then as a working mom? I strike a balance between home and work. When I'm at home, I don't bring any schoolwork. I devoted almost 90% of my time to my family and 10% for myself. When I'm at work, I remain focused and find meaning to what I'm doing. What stage of development did I found most challenging? The stage of development where I find most challenging is during their early childhood, where you have to give your 100% attention because you don't want to put their lives at risk. It was a time where you have to reinforce positive discipline, set boundaries, and allow them to explore the world. It was the most challenging time for me because it's the most critical stage of their development where their brain is largely formed. How am I able to cope all those challenges? Well, I was able to cope those challenges, I guess, by having sufficient emotional bank account, especially of love and patience. With love, you will endure everything coupled with a lot of patience. But I could not do it myself alone. I had a wonderful support system with my parents and relatives. I learned to ask for help, delegate some responsibilities, and manage everything in order. Who were my other caregivers? I'm very thankful. I was greatly helped by my parents and niece. They took good care of my children when I was at work. What is the most important thing I let my teen learn? The most important influence I had with my teen, new me, was being God-fearing, honest, kind, and competent. I hope she would continually grow to be a loving, responsible, and happy person. With my youngest, what are the activities I allowed her to do and how is this developing her? With my youngest, Marian, I really let her enjoy play, whether in group or by herself. She enjoys playing a lot with her friends around her. I also let her do things by herself like personal grooming, bathing, dressing, studying, doing little errands, washing some of her clothes, to be fun-loving, independent, and responsible person. How do I avoid having sibling comparison? Well, sibling rivalry seemed to be a normal way of life with my two kids considering their 8-year age gap. And I recognized it. By accepting their differences, I felt the need to be always fair. I took side where the truth is and what is right when there are conflicts. I explained things to them and the moral lesson they could get out of the situation. I make sure that I have quality time with each of them. How do I prepare them for life's adversaries? Well, I love them unconditionally and I teach them how to pray. When they are loved, they can do almost everything. Resiliency and strength of character will follow. How do I assist them in their stage of development? With my teen, I need to support her all the way in everything she needs. I gave her space and trust. At times, I will just be by her side and ready to listen when she has something to say. With my school child, I give her quality, presence, and time. I play with her, read her good books, and nourish her well and answer her curious mind. How do I manage my duties and address the needs of my children? Well, being a guidance coordinator, counselor, and at the same time a mother of two is indeed not an easy task. But like what I said, I strike a balance in everything that I do. I set priorities, and at this time in my life, I could clearly say that it is my family and my growing children that are my priorities in life right now. So I take care of myself also so I can deliver what is expected of me at work. And I learn to say no when up and rest before I get tired. And I always want to pray hard. For me, that's the most important warfare to combat this passing and fleeting world. So how do I empower them both? I mean, my children? Well, for me, I just have to live my life well and walk the talk by loving them unconditionally as my first priority. And in the first place, before they were born, God has destined them to have a life on their own. My role is just to support them all the way, to unleash their potentials, accept them as who they are, and truly love them as God loves us. So that's all, Crystal. Thank you so much for this interview. Once again, good afternoon.
So there you have, folks. I hope you gained new insights on this educational blog of child and adolescent development. Together, let's train and raise a child in the way he should go and assist them in becoming the best version of themselves. Thank you for taking the time and watching this video. I am Crystal Betita, a student of professional education studying child and adolescent development.